Hi, welcome to Bunny Designs. So thanks for this is part. I thought I would make one of my colour books. So I've got my little book of watercolours here, and I thought that I would just make one with these. Could you just yeah. Thank you. So I scratched these out a while ago to put into this little one here, and I decided it's too small. So I'm going to this and put these in for my daughter. So I thought, as I'm going to do that, I might as well show you. Apologies for the Christmas paper. It's just to stop the camera. It doesn't like my white desk, and I don't have any way of. Oops. I don't have anything that I've got downstairs. So this is. I just realised I'm going to keep that plastic. It's not brilliant, but I think that's going to be my Hobonichi size. I'm going to make an A6, and I'm going to put 1,000. Well, I'm going to put 750 pages in it. So this one is at the side. This one, isn't it? You put the photographs in here, and it holds. They're £3.50. And it's 100 print album, so you can get 100 photographs in. So basically it's just like this one, but it's not being cut. So you put a photograph in one side and a photograph at the other, and there's a bit of plastic in the middle. But I'm hoping that if I just use some photocopy paper, now normally with my other one I cut them this way, and then I can fold it in half long ways, and it would be long. I think I'm going to try that for the minute and see how many I've got. So I've got all the colours made, but I decided I don't think it'll go in this one. I think if I put one of these on here, we can name them and we can do a colour swatch just on the photocopy paper. So I'll get rid of mine. And for the life of me, I've just put the rubber band somewhere. I don't know where I put it. So I'm just going to leave that there. So it's going to hold this up, I think, hopefully. I can put these out and I can get rid of that. My keyboard's died a death. I need a bone folder. So I've had to stop the headset because I thought that might be interfering with the mouse, but I'm not quite sure yet. So we'll have to have a look at that. So if we let that drop, I'll leave the colours there. You might Hobonichi's I can move to one side. So this is just Sorry, beg your pardon. I'd forgotten. Hubby came in with the shopping. I'm making this book for my daughter, and I'm going to I put the Swiss Caran d'Ache colour and the Prismacolor in here. And it took me hours to do it because I was scratching colours and finding other colours. So they're all in colour order, but I don't use it. I've not used it since I did it. I don't think I'm going to mix them, and I want my original set back. So I'm going to make my daughter one for her birthday in May. So I'm going to make a few of these squares so I can put a square ugly side down in between each one. And she doesn't listen to my videos, so I'm all right. So that's only going to give me 50, but that's fine. Let me see if I can get rid of that. And I can't turn the automatic focus off because it does something weird to everything else. I'm not going to stick them down, I don't think. I think I'm just going to put them where I think they should go because that's always easier. Now, I've folded that, but I hadn't used a bone folder. So if you tear it, it's a lot neater. And you can put a ruler over the top, like so. And then you tear it, make a boo-boo. It's not doing very well. Not doing very well, am I? It's probably easy with your finger then. Old-fashioned ways are always the best. Does that sound better, guys? So thanks for stopping by. Hope everybody's keeping calm and colouring. So I can neaten these up a bit later. All I want to do is to see if they will go in here. So I made a cover. I've got to show. I'm so excited about this. Sorry, I'm going to unscrew this stupid chair. I wish I could take it off, but I can't. Right. I so love the cover, and the cover on cover I made for my Hobonichi. Absolutely adore this. So I found some old the paper stash from Mariposa, I think it is. Oh, avalanche. I've forgotten, but of course now I'm here in the bedroom, everything is in front of me. So I haven't quite decided what to do with the back. I'm going to cut probably a section of this and put it down the back. And I cut the flower off. So I thought, well, I'll fussy cut these out. And then I've been using my multi-mat. So everything works that I've used from a long time ago. So I absolutely love it. And then on the first video I did on the first today, I just did that little bit of a doodle. And then after I've done this, I'm going to go back and I'm going to do a video of how I do my month. So I'll be doing the month. Sorry, I'll be doing the year, the month, and then a month on 2 pages. And then I've very carefully just penciled in the first. And then this will be ready to do tomorrow. So that's on my to-do list, but I really, really love my Hobonichi. And then one of the paper packs came with the plastic cover. And it was only a cheapy one anyway. I don't know what it was. It wasn't one of the posh ones. And there was a little crease on. So I put the crease at the back on this side here and made myself a pocket. And I left some string. So this actually is now a ruler. So I don't have to carry a ruler around with me. it sits in there. And then I'm going to make, the reason I'm doing this is I want to take my original Creamier vintage Derwent watercolor pencils and make a color book that will go in here. So with a pencil and my rotary pen and a Derwent #1 water brush, I've got everything, and it will shut. So I need to sort these colors out, and I thought, I bought my other daughter a bag, a hold all bag for her crocheting, for all her crochet things, because she loves to crochet. So my other daughter, I was thinking, oh, what can I buy her? And if I buy anything expensive, she goes nuts. So she's getting a homemade book, but there aren't many of these in existence. I made one for Melody because she's such a wonderful girl. I thought she deserved a little color book. And so I thought I'll make her the book, the little book of watercolors, and I'll also give her, because I've never used these, the only bit I've used is the bit that I've used to scratch the color, and I'll give her this set of watercolor pencils. So she's got a set of 36. Yes, Kenny, I do have the light fast pencils, but I don't use them for two reasons. One is I use them for my sketches, but since I've lost all my photographs, I only had one commission and I lost the photographs. And they go on pastel paper, so they're not really designed to go on a color page, but they are really scrumdiddlyumptious. There are one or two videos, but I haven't updated my playlist, so I think, again, a job to do while we're all kind of getting these nasty jobs out of the way is to sit and go through my playlists and sort out my channel, because I'm going up for about 1,000 videos, and I think they need a bit of a sort out. So that's the next page. So we get 4 of these, and the sad news is, can't help myself. I saw a Hobonichi Teco, and it's the A6 size. So I'm going to be making one of those, and because I do like my little sketchbook, my little notebook rather, which I don't know what I've done with it now, my little tiny one, and I love it that much. Should be about somewhere. Can't put my hand on it. It is about somewhere. I love it that much, and I thought, I love my Midori, but I think I'm going to keep my Midori by the bed for ideas and as a diary, a diary. But I think I'm going to make myself an A6 Hobonichi, which is a quarter. So you could make one with photocopy paper. Now, you can't use a lot of watercolor on there, but you could color with pencils. You could make one for your children. So you could make it that way. But the Hobonichi, I'll show you how you could make Hobonichi out of photocopy paper. And I mean, what a size for kids. I mean, what a size. You could make hundreds of pages and they would be in their element, and you've got to say to them, right, you've got to fill it. And they probably would. So if you were making an A, so this is printer paper. If you are making, have you brought the boy back? Hi, Alf. If you are, whoopsie, come and sit down, Alfie. He's been snoring on the other video, so he was quite noisy, weren't you? Giving some big Zs. So again, if you get a really nice, crisp, you get a lovely thing. So if you wanted to make a Hobonichi like I did, so we'll do, which one are we doing first? We'll do this one first, right? So, because it doesn't really matter how I cut these, because, but I'll show you. Alfie, come and sit down, good boy. So again, really crisp. So if you're making an A5, I'll make an A4 first. Right. All right, Alf. Right. So you get your printer paper and then you fold it. So this is A5. You fold it and then you fold that. This is the size of an A6 Hobonichi. If you wanted to make the one I made yesterday, which is the cousin size, which is A5, you get your photocopy paper and that's your A5. So that makes your signature. So that's a that's a page. So if you carried on like this, you just keep folding like this, and you fold the photocopy paper in half. Yes, Alfie. And that gives you the pages. And you've got 5 inside each other to make your signature. But if you wanted to make the A6, which I think is a really nice size, then you get the A5 and you tear it in half and then you fold it. So put that one inside that one inside that one. Keep all your scruffy edges to the bottom so this is nice and neat. And then if you wanted to kind of go to town with it, you could put washi tape at the bottom so nobody would ever know. Alfie Cross, be quiet. He knows there's food down there. Alfie, come here. Good boy. Alfie, go sit with Mummy. What are you worried about? Is something going on? Is somebody having something and you're not? Is that what it is? Oh, he's such a boy, honestly. So we've got 3, 4, and it's always easier, 5. Always easy to do it this way rather than having to go back. So just double check that all these edges are crisp, and then this is the rough edge, the only rough edge you've got, and that's one signature. So we could do this. So you don't have to go out and buy lined paper or thingy paper if you've got some printer paper, and that's one signature, which is quite fat. So that's how you would make it out of. And then what you do then is you would just do your stitches. I would do 1 in the middle and 1 inch and 1 inch. Make the holes, fold all your papers, make sure they're all folded neat and that all the rough edges at the bottom. And then when you're using your Hobonichi, you can look at it and go, oh, that's the rough bit. I'll put a bit of sticky tape over that. So you can wrap it round and the bottom will be neat with a bit of washi, and the other side will have a bit of washi as well. So I'm going to put this. So I actually want the rough edge if I'm going to tear it with my finger, because this will be very strong because it's not being cut. So I did 2 then. Really, I should only do 1. And I do want this to be fairly neat if possible, because it's not for me. If it's for me, I'm a bit slapdash. But she's 23, I think, this year. Is she 23? 22. I think she's 22. She's 22 in May. So possibly shop's not going to be doing much. And I have had to buy my daughter one thing, but it is her birthday and she's 20. So I really wanted to buy her something, and I hate the thought of somebody at Amazon having to work. And we've put it, yeah, I just really didn't want to buy anything. So that's why I'm trying not to buy anything at all. But I did buy a pencil set because it was in the same place. So I bought a pencil case, a pencil roll, because I haven't got one, just to put the extra pens for my Hobonichi, just for the extra set. So because I'm not going to use the pens for anything else. They're my journaling pens. So I can't see them all. I don't like them in these because I can't pull them out. The pencils are fine, but it's the best for me to pull pens out. So I wanted something, again, that Hobonichi system, I wanted it to be really easy. If it's not easy, you don't use it. And I proved that when I made my book of watercolors. Alfie Cross, get out of the bin. Get out of the bin. He's been naughty because I won't let him out. So he's decided he's going to go in the bin. So you see it's filling out now. So I'm halfway there. And you get 4 pages from each photocopy paper, so you're not using that much. And there's no real reason, because we've already got the colour on. You couldn't put the colour on, but I've done that so that I can put it here, and then I can put a colour swatch and the name, so that when she runs out, she's got the pencils, because I'm going to give her the pencils, because I don't need them. And as I say, I wanted to give her something. In fact, I'm going to give her both sets, so she's got 72 colours. And I'm going to go through this book and put them in. So I know that the white and this one's here. So I'll put that one there first. And if I put that there, I can do the colour swatch down and then flip that over. And the next one would be the one with that yellow on, which I think is that one. And the other thing is, if I don't like them, I'll cut them in half, and I'll just put them in colour order. I'll follow this colour order and cut them up, because I think I've made a boo-boo and put them in on different sizes. So I'll cut them up and then stick them where I want them in colour order. And that's basically what you do. So this has to be this has to be CY extra wet strength. It has to be Alfie Cross. If you don't shut up, he's been naughty because I'm just not. It's just been bad. You're not taking any notice of you, and you don't like it, do you? So the best one is the Sea White of Brighton. It's 140 GSM. It's extra wet strength, and this. I paid £1.20 for the A5, so it means that you can use this over and over and over again. If you use ordinary sketchbook paper that's not been sized and it isn't for extra wet strength, your pages will not last as long. Right, that's enough now. You are a bad boy. You are spoilt and you are naughty. And why is my pillbox in the bin? That's naughty. Amy. Amy. Up. Nigel. Could you let him in, please? No. Don't say that. He knows he's been spoiled. So he's getting something he's not. What do you think? Oh dear. Goodness me, who would have them? Sorry about that. He's just a child. He's not a dog, he's a child. He would sit there grumbling until I got him what he wanted. And people say he's a dog. He's not a dog. He's a really naughty child. Right, so I've got my pages. So I think if I've got, there's 50 here. So I've got 66, I've got 72. I might have to do a little bit of jiggery pokery to get them all in. But that's fine. That's fine. So we've got the white. Now white's at this end. So I've got 2 whites, but I'm not going to put those. Oh no, I'll leave them where they are. I'll leave them where they are because they're with all the greys. They're with all the greys, so you get lighter and lighter and lighter. So that means that you could mix these scratch colour together and make lots and lots of other colours and make them paler. So I think I'm going to take that one out. This is where you need scissors, and everything I've got is in my set. So this is why you have to, oh no. This is why you have to have things to go with certain things. So this is going to be my Hobonichi bag. The Hobonichi might actually go in here. I haven't tried it yet. But again, I'm fed up of all these pens, really. I can't find them. So I want them in and the different sizes. So I need them in size order so I can pick one up and use it and put it back. Oh, found a phone. That was in there either. So finding all sorts. In here, I have to be a bit careful actually. There should be some. Now, I don't have a lot of washi tape. I just have a few. And I think I'm probably going to make my own. Right, one thing I'm looking for is a pair of scissors. And I haven't got any scissors. I did use them yesterday because I was fussy cutting that butterfly out, those 2 butterflies. Because the butterfly on the front wasn't there, it was somewhere else. Aha. Oops. Again, I really must use this time. So that white I'm just going to put in mine at the minute. So we've got the first yellow one, which is the Swiss one, and then the next one is this one, which I think is this. Yeah, if you can see. So the next one. So this again, a long, not boring, but it's a long process, is this. This is going to take a while. This is not going to be a quick fix. It's going to take a while, is this. So I've got those 2. So I'll cut this one. But this is the time to do all these boring jobs. So if you want a little book of watercolors to go with your sketchbook or to go with anything else, I'm not going to stick them in. I'm just going to sort them. So that one's the Swiss. And they do not have a colour on them. And they have a weird number there. They have a silly number, and I don't think it's the same. I think it's different. That's 61699, and that's 61816. That's the big girl. So then I can move that, and then this one is called Canary Yellow, which I'm guessing. Don't know what that one is. I'm guessing that's Canary Yellow. Yeah, that's Canary Yellow. So that's the 3rd one. this is a long, laborious job. But as I say, when it's done, it's done. I think this is, I'm just looking for what that one is. That must be a Derwent, is it? It must be a Derwent one. So again, do I think? If that was Canary Yellow. Nope. This is my really, you should always, that's a Maples Yellow, so I know what that one is. That's a very pale one, so that's about here, I think. Just, I don't think that's that one. It's not that one. And it's not that one. Maybe I didn't do every colour. Again, a very long, laborious job. I thought that was definite Canary Yellow. So matching them up is not going to be easy. I find it's going to be too boring for everybody to watch, but basically that's what I'm doing, is cutting these up and putting them in order. And then we want some yellow ones on this side as well. I think that one goes with the fawns, I think, at the back. That one goes with the back fawns. So we need some yellows and oranges now. This is where we need to do that fan, so we can see all the colours, because I mix them up a little bit. So that's a number 9. I don't know what number 9 is, but it's a number 9. I think it's that one. And this is how you do it. You just kind of put your colours as you want them, a bit of plastic, and then I personally would scratch the colours as I go along, and then scratch 2 more colours, because then you don't get in a pickle. So you scratch the colour, oops, you scratch the colour, you stick it down, you label it. I'd normally do the colour swatch last. I don't do the colour swatch, but I do everything else. And then what that does is you've created a colour book. And then when I'm happy that I've got everything in the right place, I will stick these to the page label it and do a color swatch, and then I will stick this page in with sellotape at that side and sellotape at that side, and this is going to be the page between. If I needed more pages, I will do what I did with mine, and I would cut the plastic, so there should be for each one of mine there's 3 plastics, so there's 3 sheets, so that's one complete, but I've cut it, so I've got that one and I've got the middle one and I've got the other side. If you need more than that, I would think with the couple of whites and things I might not need that. So it's going to be extremely boring to watch somebody making these. So that's that one. That's in there. So we then go to pink, and we've got these 2 first. These are flesh colours, so I think I'm going to put these in. I did say I'd put these at the front purely because she uses them, but I think it goes flesh colours. So we turn that over, and we've got these 2. Flip that over, and these 2. So if you were doing this from scratch, you'd obviously have to scratch your colour, put them in there, flip them over. You could stick them down if you're doing them in order, because obviously we know they're right, whereas mine are a bit off. So and you just carry on. So that's, oops, that's there. So now we want another one to flip over. Hold that down. So we've got plastic here, so we can turn that over. So when it's stuck in, we've got colour on that side. Flip it over. We've got colour on the other side. So again, that means that when that's opened, she's got the pale colours, and she opens that one. You can work it that you've got 4 colours, because these are quite big shapes, these. So they're a bit pinky, so I'll put these next. And that's all there is, really. That's all there is to doing this, is just flipping it, and then you make each page, you stick the colours to it, you could have the plastic between, and you have the page, then you have the other 2 colours, and then you have the plastic, and then you have the other 2 colours, and obviously it depends on how many water-based products you've got. If you've got the 72 Derwent watercolours and you've got some Inktense pencils, they'll go in there as well. Again, the idea of the labelling is that we can go back to the pencils, and bearing in mind, since I did mine, I haven't been in the pencils because you don't need to. And again, this is another little job to do. You can do the squares while you're watching TV. And then you could make the book. I've managed to do, I did it outside actually in the garden a couple of years, well, quite a number of years ago now. Or you can get the children to scratch the squares. If you work on a flat surface, one piece of advice though, try to work on a tray, because then nothing falls off your tray. Because if you find yourself suddenly without a purple, it's probably on the floor somewhere. So I now need that. There. I'm not sure why I've done a brown next to a blue. I have no idea why I've done that. But I've done that. I've got a purple next to a brown. So I'm just going to leave that blue to one side. So flip that over. And then we need the plastic. Again, you could end up with all these, but remember, you've got to write, if you do the squares, you've got to write on the back, unless you leave a space. I would normally leave a bit of a space so I can do a color swatch and I can write on it as I go along. It's just that obviously with this I haven't done that, so I've now got to do it. So otherwise I would definitely not do that. That's a plastic, color, so I hope that made sense, guys. So there we go, that one. Then we've got the back of that one. These two on there. Flip it. I want to show you how fat it's going to get, because it will get fat. But this paper is probably about the same thickness. I'm not going to leave them in this order, but there again, so we've got plastic, we've got color. Tip that over. See if we can get them all in. Color, plastic. Now these are not in the right color order. I'm just showing you how to do it. So you must put your color number or name, because you won't remember. You have to do what I've got to do now, which is scratch color to try and see if I can match them up. Oops. There we go. Now there's a lot more here. There's 144, I think, because I've got 72 Derwent pencils. I've got 36 Prismalo watercolors, and I've got 36 Swiss watercolors. So obviously I've got well over my 50 pages. But so we've got 50 pages, but remember, I've got one photograph, but we've got 2 colors in it, so I can get 100 colors in here. So I think that would be quite smart. So we must have plastic with the color, and then we have color, and plastic. So that's on there, and that page will be stuck in. And the nicest thing about that is it's going to be brilliant because it will stick exactly where you put it, because there's nothing better to stick to than plastic with sellotape. I'm actually just putting these in. They should be in different color order, but I'm just trying to show you. But you will already have your color. So you scratch the color, and I always use a ruler. So I scratch the color, I draw a square, scratch the color one way, then another, no more than 3 times, because you start getting dust. And that leaves you a strip at the bottom and a strip at the side. Because I've done this and it doesn't work, because one is you haven't got a color guide, the other one is you don't know what the heck color it is. So there again, we've got to have our plastic to protect it. So basically the color goes here, and then we turn the page over and put 2 on the other side. So I won't do the whole process because it will be the color. We need the plastic, and this is better than cutting acetate or anything. These are £3.50. You'd go through far more than £3.50 for your acetate, and you'd have sharp edges. These are lovely soft edges because you're not cutting them up. Mine still aren't too bad. So again, the color goes on there. That page flips, and we do more color. This is all water-based products. So then we need the plastic between. Obviously, I would put these in different order and just showing you the principle of it. So then on the other side of the page, we'll have more color. Don't know what possessed me to put these colors together. I have no idea. Absolutely no idea. So we've got the plastic, we've got the page, flip that. And obviously once we've stuck it in, it won't go everywhere, like this one is. Because we've now got that this is bigger now, this side. Obviously when you've stuck them in, and I only put a little bit of double-sided tape. I don't use a lot. I just use the tiniest bit, because if you used a lot of this green and you did destroy the paper, say it did go to mush, you could pull that off and you could replace it with extra wet strength paper, and you've not wasted this one. So that's why I only put the tiniest little bit, or 2 little tiny bits, but one little bit inside, because you're only touching it, you're not scrubbing. Because if you scrub, you know, this is not for a watercolor outside. This is just for watercoloring. This is just to do a little sketch. You can do little sketches. It doesn't matter what you're coloring, but what you're using the color for, because it's nice watercolor paint. But it won't take a lot of scrubbing, and we're not mixing color. So again, so you can see 4 greens at a time with the plastic between. So you flip. Then we want 2 more. And I want you to see how chunky it is, because it's an amazing thing. So in theory, that would be on there. And then we flip it over and put 2 on the other side. And then we put plastic, and then we've got a brown for some reason there, green there. And what that does is it allows you to see 4 greens, and then you can flip it over and put these 2, flip that over and we'll put that in there. You see how gorgeous that is. It's full of colours. It's still not stuffed. It's still okay. So what I need to do now is just put that there and make some more pages. And although this is only photocopy paper, you really do not want anything thicker. One reason is we're not riving it like this, we're just moving it like this. So it's never going to tear. I've never had one tear yet. And it's thin. And because we've got our extra wet sketch paper, we do need a thin page because we've only got the thickness of 2 photographs. And here we've just got a little bit more than that. So it's always a good idea to try and keep it as thin as possible. And again, tight Yorkshire lass, cheap photocopy paper is perfect. Oopsie. I didn't do the crease quite as good as I should have done, but the crisper you get the fold, the better it is. You could cut these on a guillotine or a cutting machine. I think all mine are still downstairs with all the craft stuff, so everything has to be done by hand the old-fashioned way before we have these wonderful guillotines. So that's how you make a little book of watercolors. And as I say, it's so easy, and the paper chase one is really nice. So you do have a nice covering on the outside, and that's important because if it's not nice, you won't use it. Because I didn't use mine because I didn't like it, and it was obviously the plastic that was getting on my nerves. So see how we're doing. I might just put that flat, and then we won't have the avalanche. I don't know why I've got now. It's tilting the other way now. That's clever. So we've got our page. Just put that there. So we've got our page. So you have to pretend these are in colour order. And they are stuck down. They are labelled. and there's a color swatch. Now, if you do want to do full squares, you can do the color swatch on the photocopy paper. But again, you've got to remember you can't work too wet. So we've got another page, and we've got that page. I think I've gone on to greens rather than finishing the greens. Let's flip. So ignore the colours. But this is the principal way to make this. It's very time consuming, but as I say, this is what we've got. We've got time. And then you can take this or make it for a present for somebody. You could even make, dare I say the word Christmas, you could even make this for a Christmas present. It's time consuming, but this is what we've got. We've got time. So this is the perfect opportunity. You could make half a dozen of these. I think once you've made one, you'll think, oh, such and such will have it. Brilliant for anybody that likes to colour that doesn't have them. So you could send them to a pen pal. You could colour them in, and of course you're keeping the pencils. You're just sending these gorgeous colours, and they'll last a few months. You know, you can't go out and do a big watercolour, but if you're doing a colour book, they will last you a few months if you just go very steady with them. And remember, it's not working very wet. We're not doing solid colour either. We're doing watercolouring, which means you've got a strong colour and then you've got a kind of a bit less colour. Oopsie, didn't put the plastic between. That goes that way. Yes, that way. I think I might actually give my daughter all of this because that's black. Got the back in black. The other things at the back, I think I'm going to do at the back of these, I have all the greys, and there's a gold and a silver there, but the greys. And here I've got Graphitone and Derwent sketching pencils, but they're water-based. So there's a medium, a light, a medium, and a dark. I then have my sketching and wash General USA General's sketch and wash pencil. So all these I will scratch in color, so she can do a watercolor effect, but do it in a pencil tone. Does that make sense? So she's doing what's the word I want? It's pencil, but it's graphite, like a graphite tonal thing. So again, let's just make sure. So we've got those, and then we've got plastic, and then we've got that one. And that one. Plastic. So that's where we are so far in the book. So there's quite a few colors there, and then we can put I might do a full page actually, so a full page of all those 6. Obviously not scribbling on here, I'm scribbling on the extra wet sketchbook paper, because she would enjoy using that to sketch with a black grey tones. And what I would do here is put ugly side in and ugly side down. So when you look at the book, the top's neat. And that's something else to watch for. So there's one or two things to think of. So if I put it that way, it'd be a bit scruffy on the top. So always think, I mean, I did all these differently, so always try to do top a bit cleaner. And I need another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll leave the back page, because on the back page I'm going to give her this and I'm going to redo it. On the back page I'm going to slide this in. Oops, you do need to be flat. So I'm going to put that on the back page for her, and then she's got this as a palette, but it will protect it. You can either slot it in or stick it in. So she's going to have that, and then I'm just going to do another page, just one. And again, now it doesn't matter if it's a bit kind of gunky, really. You don't need to use the stronger paper. Just, this is the stronger one. It tears differently, you can tell. You just want the cheapest one, because this is thicker, and we definitely don't want any more bulk in our page, in our books, because we can have the thickness of 2 photographs, which is about what we've got if you don't use thicker paper. This is a lot thicker. You can tell it tears differently as well. And this is the one that I would use to make a book. If you can't use photocopy paper, I would use that, because that means it will take that little bit more water. So put that in that one, that in that one, that in that one. Oh, I need 2 pieces. And look at that, that's amazing. Now it's full of colour, and what a lovely present. I'll take that off, because it is not now a photo album, it is now a little book of watercolours. And I shall peel this off as well. So that cost me £3.50, and I used probably 10p's worth of photocopy paper. And if you bought a sketchbook, they're about 150, 99p to 150. That was 120, about £1.99. You can always get an A4 size and cut them down. This is me just practicing playing. I draw with a paintbrush. I don't draw it first. So I've always been playing about, messing about with something. And then you can cut them into squares. But the thing to do is don't cut them into 2 small squares first. Colour them and then cut them up. But if you're going to do that, you can leave a bit of space for the other thing. I might put that white back, because there we go. Put that white back in there. So I want one more of this, and then what I can do is go through my watercolor stash and give her some more. I might even do the graphy tint, because she loves the graphy tint, so I might put that. Sorry, no, she likes the graphy tint. No, the Derwent ink 10. She likes ink 10s. So I might do that as well. So I might see how many pages we've got left for the graphy tint, because what I could do with that one is just I need 6 pages for the graphy tint. I need 6 pages, so we've got I can take that off now, because I'm not working in there. When I was working in there, it flicks and it drives me insane. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I've got 12 pages to get the graphy tint in there, with 6 on each. I think I've got 12 pages as well. So we've got one, and that would be quite good actually, because that means she can work. I can put Derwent watercolors there, and I can put Derwent graphite there, so she can work one way or the other. And she works with proper sketchbook paper, so I thought I needed some more pages. Yeah, one there, one there, one there. And it is a little bit of a labor of love, but that means I don't have to give her my paintbrushes. So if you look at that now, it's just about how it should be if it had photographs in it. Oh, hi, Pamela. Hi, Suzanne. The little boy went down the garden because he was naughty. He had to go downstairs. He's just sitting there grumbling at me because he knew that the other dogs were downstairs getting something he wasn't. So what I've done is moved. I'm going to move these out, these pencils, and I'm going to put them in here for Amy because she's 20 in May, and I haven't really got her very much. So I thought if I made her this book, so I've used this little book up to put these colours in, because I wanted to do mine, but I think I'm going to count the pages. I think I'm going to put 2 on each one for me. I think I might put 3. See how I go. So I've used those to go in this for her, and then I say I've got the pages to put the graphite tint in, and the page to put the Derwent ink tents in as well, because she does like the ink tents pencils, and the blocks, because she's always stealing from me. And then I'll put probably a fancy thing at the front and a postcard at the back, and that's going to be her present. And I'll give her the set of Prismacolors and the set of Prismacolors as well. And then she got those. In fact, I have a set of those in a tin. I'll give her the tin. They are brown, so I'd rather do that. But the Swiss one, I've only used them just to put them in the colour book. Has anybody got any in the sun lurking? Hi, Pamela. Welcome to Bunny Designs. So the reason I was going to make another one of these, but I'm going to make a thinner one, is because of a new baby. I have a new baby. I have a new baby. Where's my new baby? Where's my new baby? Here's my new baby. It's my fake or faux Hobonichi with a cover and a cover. I've got a cover on a cover, which is a ridiculous statement, but there we go. So I did put a bit of plastic down the back, but I think I'm going to make a couple of bookmarks with this gorgeous paper. So I've had this for years, been too frightened to use it, and then realized I nearly used this one, but I just liked the other one. The reason I was going to use this other one is it has almost something. I mean, the papers, I don't know if you can get hold of this anymore, guys. I've had this years when I used to make all my books, but it's scrumdiddlyumptious. I mean, that's a teal color. That it's not coming out quite as well. They're shiny. They're absolutely gorgeous. Now this, somebody left them, I wasn't very impressed, in the sun downstairs, and they've got sun damaged around the edges. This is the only one that's got sun damage. I don't know why the others aren't, but that one is. So I could take this one out and make a backing, but when I make a backing, it's got to be maneuverable, because when you open the spine to go flat, this is what happens. So it's kind of got to be a little bit maneuverable. And the butterfly was on the bottom bit, and I fussy cut it out, and I've been using my multi-mat, so I've kind of like, oh, they could be, Suzanne. She says, are they antique Prismacolors? They're in the tin with the tiger, if that makes any sense. They're downstairs. I don't know where they are. They're not up here. They should be up here, but they're not. The same with the Swiss ones. They should be up here as well, and they're not. But it's the one with the tiger. I wonder why I've only got half of my desk on there. So it's the one with the tiger. But I love my Hobonichi, so I've got a bit of card that was just kicking about. So I use that behind, but I'm going to make myself a nice one out of plastic, out of thicker plastic. I found a few, because that normally goes in there. I don't use it all the time, but can't wait to play in my Hobonichi. But I'm going to make a baby. I'm going to make a baby one. And use the same paper. I think I might cover it with this one. So the that's what I had in the back. I don't like it, but it did work. But this is a plastic file, and I cut it up, and I've used it for quite a few things. I've made a Bible journal, sleeve that you put on, because that's what I put underneath when I was ironing my pages. So I'm going to find some more of those. I think they're downstairs, and cut it up, and then I'll have a nice plasticky one to sit under, because it is nice to rest on. It gives a nice surface. It's not rough, it's just nice. So this is the size. Oh, should have done that really, should I? No. Do use my brain, which I haven't got today, because I'm so excited about my Hobonichis. I've wanted a Hobonichi forever, and I've made a couple and then never got into it because it is quite time consuming. But of course, guess what we've got now? Yay, time. So this is going to be the size, oh my, look at this, of my Hobonichi. So I've got a lovely cover. I think that one might do. I hate to waste it, so I'll use that for something else. I'll cut it out, fussy cut it out, and use it for something else. But that basically is going to be the front cover of my A6 Hobonichi. Yay! Can't wait. I think, I'm pretty sure I'm going to make it all out of layout paper, so I won't be alternating it between one and the other. And the reason for that is I was having a look at the baby one, and I used it yesterday, I will be using my Midori because I found it again, but this is by the bed, this is for ideas, this is for bedtime journaling, which is rough. It's for ideas, it's for to-do lists, and I use the bullet journal, but it's going to be too big to carry around with me. Now I've just opened, I don't know what I've opened. Oh, I opened the paper chase. They come in a plastic bag to these. Now it's not the same plastic, but if you look at this, it's about an A3 size. So it means just temp, I've got a cover on cover for my Hobonichi, because this is 4x6. It's 4x6, and that's what Hobonichi is. So the cover, the back and the front of the book will be a little tiny bit bigger, and we want this to be a little bit bigger than that. But I'm going to make it with, I'm going to try and make it with 1,000 pages, because the one that I found online had 780. It's a 4-year one. So I thought, oh, hi Christian, welcome to Bunny Designs. And of course it's going to be that fat. I mean, there's 1,200 in there, so you probably see it works about right. So that's how fat it's going to be, but it's going to be half the size. But it won't be that fat for the simple reason is I'm not going to be using the square paper. I'm only going to be using this layout paper, which is half as thin, so I should get away with it. I will be making a couple of these to go in there to use as a template, and I want to start making that now. So that's my goal today and tomorrow, and when I finished online, because it's very boring watching somebody stitch. I did one yesterday and I thought I've bored everybody to death. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to put that back in there so I know that I've got all the pages that I need. So I've made my daughter's present, and I feel better about that, because I was going to buy her something, but she goes mental if you spend any money. She's so I decided that I'd really like to get her some Inktense blocks, but might have to do that. We'll see what happens. I love this paper. It's just scrumptious. It's scrumptious, absolutely gorgeous. I'm not sure we can get it anymore. And as I say, I do have another sheet. This is a slightly different sheet to this one, but it's got the same butterfly on it, so I should get away with it. But I was so impressed with my fussy cutting, because on the original the butterfly was missing. It wouldn't. Let me put that back where it goes. Sorry guys, just give me a second. Really is absolutely scrumptious. I did think about cutting that down for the spine. It's butterflies, so I think I'm going to cut that down and use that for the spine for the cover. Oh, it's gorgeous. That butterfly is absolutely scrumptious. That's a pretty one as well, and again that's got the glitter sparkles. It's got the sparkles in it. See all the butterflies sparkling. They really are absolutely scrumptious. See if I can just put the light better. That's better. Yes, I've torn that one out, so I'm going to put, I think I'm going to put that spine on that one. But I haven't. That's really pretty, that one. So that was the actual page, and I wanted this top bit, but I wanted the butterfly, so I fussy cut the butterfly out, and I fussy cut that butterfly out. Oh, yes, I obviously cut the bottom, so that's the back. That was the back, and that was the front, and then I had that strip. So I cut that butterfly out. I don't know why I happened to cut that butterfly in half, but I did. Cut his wing off. I don't know how I did that. Oh, that's why. Yes, it's there. That's the tip of the wing. So I turned him, instead of being like that, I've turned him round and put him up there. But I was so impressed with my fussy cutting. It is, isn't it? Yes, it is. And my my 1,200 pages. I don't know why I thought I only had 600 in there. There's 600 pages, but of course each page is double-sided. So really impressed. Normally I wouldn't have the patience to do the Hobonichi journaling type thing, but of course, what have we got for the next few months? Tons and tons of time. So I thought I would make this. And the other thing is, when it's over, I can take it with me and carry on. It's a positive art journal. It's going to be all positive. There's going to be about my books that I'm reading at the moment, videos that I need to make. So it's going to have a little bit of the daily journal. How many hours I slept, probably won't put in what I ate, but I am doing a diet checker. That will be on a single page on its own. So you've got, I did the first page yesterday. Can't put this thing down, sorry guys. And then I've done the year, and then I've done the months. I'm doing the months like this. That's the months. And this is going to be April. And this is the month of April. So there's the actual diary, which is the bullet journal list that I love. So I like the bullet journal way. So I've changed it slightly. And then I'll have April, and then I'll have things that I want to do or things that I want to buy. So it's going to be what I need to do in that month. And then I will be, that's the double page for the week. So I've got a week on 2 pages somewhere. I've been playing about. So I've got a week, the first week of the month, and then the next page would be today. So that's the first. And then I'm going to do it slightly different. I'm going to do Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then I'm going to miss a page and probably do a list of something else. And then this gives me the second week. So all my Aprils will be together. And then I'm going to do another month and all my Mays. And I found these Bible journaling stickers that I got when I was in Ireland quite a few years ago. And there's 12 blank ones. So I can make these my tabs. So because I didn't want to buy any. It's lovely doing that, but I didn't really want to buy any. So I'm using up what I've got and what I've found. And of course, didn't think I had anything and found lots of things. Including this bookmark, which I've attached with the last string, and it's at the bottom because that means that I can lift it up and draw however I want, but I'm not going to lose it because when I've finished I can just slide it back in there. I've also got about 6 pages of this paper, this layout paper, for practicing all the different watercolor types, but I think I'm only going to use my Derwent watercolors. So I've got out, this is the original one that I used, the 24 print, and I'm going to put my Derwent watercolor pencils in this one, and this goes in the front of here. So that's going to have 72 watercolors in it, and it shuts perfectly okay. And in the back I've got all my stencils. So I quite like the fact that I've got everything I need in this system. And I've got a belly band that will give me a water-based pen. Sorry, a Derwent #1 brush, my Rotring Indian ink one, and my little pencil. So I've got a 0.25 Rotring, and it's also it doesn't go through, and it also is permanent ink. So once it's dried, I can then watercolor over the top. And that system means I just have to take this with me. But I do like my little, I don't know where I put it, but I have a little pocket size little book, a notebook, and I decided that actually I do like that. So I think I'm going to make myself a mini Hobonichi, which I think is the Techo one. Techo. I'll just put those back in there. But I'm so pleased that I've now not mastered but attempted the Hobonichi system, because I've been looking at it for quite a while. But again, I didn't really want to spend anything, and not sure if I would like the original, because it's got things in it that I want to rearrange it how I want. And again, I want to do a little bit of the bullet journaling because I like that. I find that really good. So I use the bullet journal system, but then decorate it. And again, it's the decorating I don't have time to do. I have found all sorts of magazines and things with patterns, and this happens to be a Christmassy one. I found loads of other ones, and I can cut these out. Although this is Christmas, I can photocopy them, or I could trace them out. I could trace them. Oh, look at these. These are gorgeous. I could trace these and then cut them out in even in paper. That was the one I thought I could photocopy and then just cut them out. So even though I don't have any stickers, I can make them. And the multi-mat, this if I did this on paper, it would be very thin on photocopy paper. So these are quite pretty, these. So again, there's lots of things I can do. There's a lot of things I can do. And then at Christmas, of course, I can use them for Christmas, the Christmas pages. But that's not particularly Christmassy. That's not particularly Christmassy. So I think I can get away with a few of them. So I'll leave that one out. I do like the pussycats. Again, if you like cats, you could do this. Just cut the cat out and not the words. I mean, happy holidays could be anything. It doesn't have to be Christmas, really. And then we've got the dogs as well, so they could be out. The bones and the paws. And then I've got the real tags. Oh, these are sweet. Oh, I like those. Oh, they'd be gorgeous. Now, they really would be nice. Oh, these are corner tags. I think these are corner tags. Oh, they're nice. I hadn't noticed those before. Again, didn't think I'd want to buy any stickers to go in, but I've had this book years. Oh, I like the hearts as well. Oh, we could use those for tags. And we've got some strips, not particularly Christmassy. They are Christmassy, but we could get away with them. Like those. Really like those. You see, you just photocopy them on thin paper on ordinary cheap photocopy paper, cut them out, and you're sticking them in, but there's no bulk, whereas this is actually quite thick. Oh, thank you, Suzanne. It's not perfect because I was watching a movie. You can tell it's Peter Sellers' fault because I was watching Pink Panther, giggling, and I was kind of going all over the place. So there you go. And then I watched a couple of other movies. So I stitched half of it on Saturday and half of it on Sunday, because I'm on my own most of the time. I have let hubby back into the house because he had a fall, and we thought he'd broken his wrist. And I said, yeah, but you're not going to the doctors, you're not going to the hospital. And I nipped it all the way up, and he didn't squeal. So I thought, he's not broken it. But because I broke mine, and it was a heat wave about 3 years ago, I didn't have I said to the guy, I don't want a pot. And he said, but because I'm in a wheelchair, he said, you're not actually going to be doing a lot. If you promise to wear this and behave, I won't put a pot on. Because the first time I broke my scaphoid, it's a pest, especially in a heat wave. So I knew that I could wear this, and it was his left hand as well. So I knew he could put this on. And I mean, if his hand had been kind of twisted back, then obviously he would have had to go to hospital. But he could move his wrist, but it hurt him. So I thought, if he's broken his scaphoid, he could wear the same splinter that I did. And I know it works because the hospital doctor, the broken bone doctor, gave it to me, and mine mended. So so I knew that it worked, and he wore that for a couple of days, and I've let him back in the bedroom, but he's sleeping nose to tail. Oh my, look at these. Ooh, I love that color. But this you could cut in half, or even 3 as strips, and this one, and they're not Christmassy, so I mean, even that one, if you cut it into strips, I might have to get my daughter's taken the printer. So that was one. The other one is full of bears. Oh, you see, that would be quite nice, cut into strips. Yeah, it's a snowflake, but it's a pattern. That's too Christmassy, I have to say. You see, the other thing you can do is you can do this in photocopy paper, on thin photocopy paper, really cheap. It's very thin. Cut it out and then glue it down the side and leave a pocket so you could put something in. I'm going to have to keep this out now then. And there's another one. What to do with the other one? I have had a bit of an avalanche behind me, so I better just pick the box up. Aha. No, I don't look in this one. Don't look in this one. So this one, oh, I've got 2. Oh, I think I've broken it. So this one is Christmassy, but I love the colours. You see, you get away with that one, not Christmassy. I don't know where I got this. Oh, look at these. See, I wasn't going to do anything in my Hobonichi but draw, and now look what I'm going to do. I've got cakes, buns, buttons. Oh, bows. Oh, bows. And again, I can keep them and photocopy them because I'm only using them for myself. I don't even look in this one. Oh, look at these. These are some of my favorite colors. And these go with those brown and gray pens that I had. These little strips. Oh, I'm going to have to make some of these. And my daughter's just taken the printer in her room. I'm not happy. Oh, look at all the buttons. Oh, sorry, guys. I'm getting a bit... Wow. It is all bakery, but you could cut this up and make it into a little pocket. Nobody's going to know that it's an oven glove. I love the buttons. So now I'm going to have to cut things up and fill my Hobonichi with stickers. Oh, look at this. Oh my goodness. Again, this is quite thick paper. It's not quite card, but it's quite thick. Whereas you would really want to photocopy them on cheap paper. And because I've got this awesome printer with EcoTank, the tank lasts you 2 years, and it did last me 2 years. And I had one going through uni and one going through the last year at college. So they had lots and lots of photographs every 5 minutes, and it never ran out. I absolutely love my Epsom EcoTank, but it's a sod to move because you've got a black box at the end of your printer that's full of ink. You've got to remember to carry the whole lot. I think I might spend an afternoon photocopying these, and then of course if you're going to do that, you might as well photocopy some of these, again for personal use only, but you could photocopy them and just way. I love these. I love these colors. Oh, I shouldn't have found that now, because now I want to fussy cut these out and stick them in my Hobonichi. So my Hobonichi will be chunky, but the other one shouldn't be. Sorry guys, we've already had a flip of this. I'm not sure if we can get hold of this anymore, but it's gorgeous. I've got a couple of vintagey ones from Tim Holtz. Wow, haven't said that word for years. So I've got a couple of those. I've got some gorgeous papers. I might have to go through the papers and photocopy some. And as I say, the only reason I'm photocopying them is because they'll be on thin paper. Because I'm not sure if this will take a lot, because I've got alternating thin paper. So this is one, and then this is thicker. It's nearly twice as thick. But if I make my little book just with the layout paper, I need a little bit of cardboard at the edges, but again, we've got card at the back here. Got some card, desperate not to buy cardboard. But I've just had sometimes you get, this is quite thick. This is quite thick. Oh, look at those. They're gorgeous. They'd make like little stamps, those. They'd be like little stamps. Oh, look at those little butterflies. Which has given me an idea, because I've got, so now I know what I'm going to do. This is the book I made yesterday. Oh, I think I made it yesterday. And I put it in the case that this was in. The case, the folder cover. So this one's got two metal buttons. So I've got this one. Now this one was the one I was going to do for the thin Hobonichi, but then I got a bit carried away and put 12 signatures in it. It's a lot neater than the other one. So actually what I could do is I could do the Hobonichi thing with these. So have one that's nothing of my drawing. It's just stamps and things, and then this is going to be the drawing one, and then this is my doodle one for my ideas. But this is my only attempt at Hobonichi, and it's pants, so I knew I wouldn't be able to use it because it takes a while. But obviously we now have a while. We have lots of whiles. So I like this one for my ideas. because I like working on the paper. I could cut these out, draw these and cut them out, and then stick them in the book. I've not played with my, oops. This is a pot of my Studio Multimedia Multimat. And I haven't opened it for about 5-6 years, I don't think, maybe. And I was so excited to get back into it. So now I'm kind of getting obsessed with fussy cutting and sticking and gluing and things, which was, I don't want to do in that Hobonichi, but I can do in this Hobonichi. So I'm going to end up with 4 Hobonichis. Oh my goodness. Sorry, guys. Oh, yes, Suzanne says cereal boxes and food packaging works great for card. I used to go around the supermarket and look for cereal boxes. And if I like the cereal box, the girls got the cereal. And this is a fine example. There might be a bit of a creak when I stand up. So this one, I went to the supermarket and found the biggest cornflake box I could find. And that's a spine. That's a spine. It's 3 3/4, I think. 3 1/2, 3 3/4. That's a spine. It's a huge, it's the massive cornflake box, the biggest one. And the reason I wanted it is because I wanted to, I haven't had this book out for ages, and that's why I brought it upstairs, so that I can start to use it again. Look, little mushrooms, my first little mushrooms that popped out. There should be some more somewhere kicking about. They kind of pop out. But now it's in front of me, I've got the urge to pick it up and use it. It got a bit bashed downstairs. I wanted to put a metal clasp on, but they're all downstairs now. So it did get a bit of a batting, bless it. But it's here now. And again, it's one of those things that it's there and it's made. So I made it with brown paper and also paper lining, wallpaper lining for lining walls. So I like that. So that's got me thinking. I actually kind of like now the fussy bit. And again, normally I'd think, oh, no, can't be bothered. Too long to do that, too long. But of course, we've got the time now. We have the time to sit and fussy cut and be a bit creative with lots of stickers. So I might spend the day photocopying, making a bag of stickers. And an envelope to put in the front of my little book. So I'll have to start this one. I'll have to start this one on January the 1st. The idea for this one was that they did, I couldn't pick this one, I suppose, but I like this for this size with this paper, but it's thicker. So my other one, I think I might actually make to be an A6 Hobonichi. So I like the idea of this one being a Hobonichi, and that's a bit ugly. So I might just stick that there. Or the next best thing is a piece of photocopy paper, and this will do 2 things. So when I start to do colouring, if I did colouring in this one, although I don't think I'm going to do, let me just tear that. Sorry for the noise. Right, get you in there. Oh, come on, you know you want to. What's that? Oh, it's that silly black tag that was on that. Right, but in that case, we will create we will create a neat edge. Folder's gone. Oh, it's there. Look, my goodness me. 2 things I wanted instantly. There we go. That's a bit tidier. And I better do the same for the back one then. Although I'm sure sooner or later I will have something to stick in there, no doubt. So again, the bone folder or the edge of, if you haven't got a bone folder, you could use the handle of some scissors, but be careful of the other end. It's very quick, but it's just to hide the ugliness. So now that just looks a little bit nicer. I can pull that down just a smidgen. You can stick it down if you want. You can stick anything to the side. That one I didn't do that one. So yes, that is now going to be my Hobonichi, and I'm going to try and do it as a proper Hobonichi, if that makes any sense. I think I've got to move that around just a little bit. You see, it's just, it wants to be in the center really. So what we have to do is pull this up. And pull this down. And they should be in the middle now. Oh, good, yeah. So they're in the middle now. So that's slightly better too. So that's going to be the first page. So I might leave that first one, and that's going to be the first page, and then that can go in there. Just needs to a memory to do that. Oh yes, Suzanne, it was quite a while ago, wasn't it? I made a couple of other books as well, but I've made hundreds. Well, sorry, tell a lie, I haven't made hundreds, but I have made quite a few. And now this is the one that I pulled the I need to catch these, because I used the cardboard for this one. So I pulled it off. This is a sketchbook. I think I might cover that and give it to Amy, because Amy uses really cheap sketchbooks, but I think she'd like that because it lies flat, and she does like ones that lie flat. And my camera's going to fall down now. And that could be a book, that can be a bookmark just for the moment. So I've got a bit of a, it's a bit rough around the edges. Put some, I'm getting a bit creative now, guys. This is so this is the Hobonichi box. I'm just looking for a little bit of washi tape. Now this is a first. I've only used washi tape a couple of times. I haven't got much. So it might be, oh look, I've seen lots of people do this and I've never done it. So let me see if I can put half of that on there. And then a strip down there. Oh, not going to use a strip, it's too much, but no, I'm a tight Yorkshire lass. I'm going to use sellotape. I was going to use some sellotape. What I should have done is what I should have. Oh, look at this! I want to cut this off now and stick this on the bottom of the bird cage. Sorry, guys, I got waylaid. I got waylaid. I think I'm going to keep the first signature and start here. So it's not brilliant, but it is. It'll do, and it's not scratchy now, so it'll do. So thanks for joining me, guys. Hope everybody's okay. Hope I've not missed anybody. I'm going to have a mouthful of cold tea. Oh, the birdies are going back to bed again. It must be that time. Goodness me, it can't be that time. That's so that, yeah, I've got a little bit of washi and some was in a Bible journaling pot. I have been naughty and bought the Derwent pencil roll to keep these in, because again, I want to use them in my Hobonichi. Now I've got that. I wondered if that would work, but it's an extra weight and extra bulk. Do we need it? So I might put it in this one. Something nice about writing on a harder surface. So I might leave that on there. I probably now might neglect this little book again, although it is the doodle. I'm working my way through all these vintage shapes and incorporating them. So I'm making a record of all of them, and then I can put them in here and bring them out when I feel like it. And I've got the modern one and I've got the traditional one. And that's what gave me the idea for the first page. I just loved it. It looked like patchwork. So by doodling and doing that, I found the inspiration to do my first page of April. So I think that's going to be more creative, but I would like a chance to do a traditional Hobonichi, which is why I made this little thin one yesterday. And I think I can do that. But I think I also want a tiny size as well. But I probably will keep that for when I go back out to, when we go back out again, and I can have it in my book, in my bag. So if I was doing that one, then I'd have to use some post-it notes. I've got some stickers. They could be used in the Hobonichi one that I want. So that works quite well, because part of me wants to do my creations and part of me wants to do a traditional Hobonichi, and I didn't think I could. So I'm quite pleased with that. I would like that in the back of that one. These are little speech bubbles, those. So I like this little bag because it does allow me to put all the things in to do with the Hobonichi. So I'm kind of happy with that. It's just I've got pens and pencils stuffed everywhere. So that's one thing that I need to get my act together. So if this was going to be the Hobonichi, and leave one signature, because I might want to do I'm thinking I may want to do an index. I haven't quite decided, so I'm going to leave that. So this would be my first page. It's very thin paper, is this? So that would be my first page, and then I'd have to kind of look at a real Hobonichi, not do it my way, if that makes any sense. So that would be the year. So my first page would look, like that for 2020, I think. And then I can put my weight, I can put a habit tracker in it, and all the other things you put in a Hobonichi. I can do that with that one, but this one I wanted it to be a little bit more artistic, if that makes any sense. So I've kind of talked myself into like the weather outside, a traditional Hobonichi. So I think I'm going to do that one. That takes a lot of time. You've got to kind of draw everything in neat and tidy, and that would be really, really boring. So have I made any mushrooms lately? I haven't as such. I have a real problem with colouring them in, and I don't know why. I don't know why I have a problem colouring them in. I think I started some at this end and some at the other end. Well, maybe I didn't. But I do have a plan. A friend of mine bought me this, and I've actually had it out 3 times recently. So a friend bought me this for Christmas. Yes, she did. It's Millie Marotta's Wild Savannah, and it's a beautiful book, colour book. But it also has blank pages. So my idea is to use it for my mushroom pages, and then colour them in. So I could put that one like that. So I was thinking I could use that one. No, that one's normal. And do that with it so that I could use it for my colour book. So I would in the end up with a colour book page with mushrooms in it. So that's part of the idea. And then I think they have another one. And then this one does that as well. So I could use that one as a colour book page. I haven't coloured this yet. Again, the little tiny ones, I quite like with the Hydrus and the Inktense ones, the very bright ones. I will colour as I go, as I do it. I'll do a colour page and then draw a page, and it might inspire me to draw, to kind of draw what I want to draw and not be frightened. Because at the moment I don't know, I just kind of I've lost it a little bit, and that's the other thing with all these books. I've found all the books with lots of different drawings in them, so again it's another thing to bring them all together. Oh, I didn't know we had that. Aha, that must be a practice page. Oh, I didn't know we had those. Didn't know there was a pocket in the back. I didn't know there was a pocket in the back. Oh, wow, look at that. So I could maybe start with that. That's better, because then I wouldn't be quite as frightened. Oh, just bear with me, guys. It might be Grandma. They've got it. So that was my idea. I did not know to work backwards. Try to work backwards. I tried to work backwards, but I like the idea of doing these. That's cheered me up no end. And what I've been doing is incorporating these mushrooms. That's what I've been doing. This is what I'm doing this for, is to get all these about so they'll go with the mushrooms. So that's why I've been cataloguing them, because I kind of like some of the original ones that I've kind of westernized, but these are the originals. So if I go back to the original ones, I can incorporate them as the backgrounds for the mushrooms, because nobody's got these flowers, because as I say, I did them when I was 18, 16. We started school a couple of weeks before my birthday. So I've been drawing this doodle for quite a long time. So that might work. That might work. Susan's going to get the dig in and get back to it. It's like riding a bike. You've switched to 24 copy paper. Yes, I was. The book I was doing yesterday, I don't know why I was saying about photocopy paper yesterday. Oh, if you're printing out, if you've bought the Bennett Klein online books, you print them out yourself. If you buy the extra strong pages, the photocopy paper, it's called premium photocopy paper. So it's living like $1.99. It's about $3.99. It's about £4, but it's nicer to work on. It's thicker. So for the Bennett Kleins, when we're photocopying them, they're a bit thin. I've been printing mine out on there. So I've been doing these drawings here of different, like I said, the original ones. These are the original ones, and these are the ones that I've westernized, and they've evolved over the years. But I want to get back to the original ones. So my daughter took some photographs of the painting. It's in the, I think I've shown it before. It's a painting, and it's a painting made with Chinese dragon designs. So I kind of like that, because then it's all my own. It's all kind of, it's a doodle, and when it's a doodle, you can do it, if that makes any sense. I think I've done them on another color book page somewhere. So I am trying. It's just I lost my confidence a bit, and that's why I've not made any videos, because they're all boring and useless. so I went through a phase of not, and I was busy with Felicity as well. So that's why we moved everything upstairs. So my bedroom looks like a bedsit at the minute. It does look like a bedsit at the minute. So I've got my other Hobonichi to do, and then I've got this one. But I actually want to make another one. So these pencils, see, I don't need to do that just yet. That's a job that can wait. But I do want to make my other Hobonichi, because I'm desperate to see what it looks like. So I need a small trolley to keep my things in that I am using at the moment. Normally I put things on a tray. I have to make myself another drink, guys. My throat's killing me. I've got some horrible cold tea. Whoops. I don't think I've got any. I don't think I've got any coffee left. Oh, everything's fell out. Everything fell out. Oh, that's what I was looking for. Can't use it now though, but put it there. Right. Oh, I can't swing a cat round in here. Not that I would want to, but I can't. It's like a bed set. I've got 3 crock pots. I've got a kettle. I've got a Brita's water thing. I've got a box, a bin. I've got a massive bread bin full of biscuits. Oh, 4 biscuits. I've got a jar of I've got rice, pasta. It's like a small shop in here. Oops. An Alfie hair in my coffee. Thanks, Alfie. I think that's empty. Sorry guys, just filling up my boiling geyser. I don't know what to call it. I've no sugar left, so I can't have sugar in my coffee. It's looking a bit bare now. It was looking okay, but now it's looking a bit bare. Let's see what else I've got in there. Oh, right. Found an old frame, got some scissors. Oh, that's my Star Trek thing. Not wanting to do. I bought that for my mum-in-law, and I thought it'd be brilliant for you. I had no idea it made that noise. It's the first time I did it, I nearly had kittens. So Nigel doesn't bring me tea anymore because he mixes with the girls. Oh, a warm wheat coffee. It's not particularly nice. I just thought that was a nice shape to draw around. So if we need some a stencil for a little kind of square, so that would be big enough for colour books. So the colour book pages I was going to do say that in a little box. So if I use the Colin Thompson. See, this is my fault. I can't write neat. Cannot write neat, so it would bother me. That's why I like to scribble in my my bullet journal book page, I suppose. And then I suppose you put a little tick when you've done it. I don't know how to do this. I'm going to have a bit of a think about that, but I know the color scheme I want. I'm not going to put this information in here. I think that's going to just be that journal, but I can certainly start in this one as a traditional Hobonichi. So I need to have a look how we set it out, because I think it's got little squares. Now the difference with the Hobonichis, the originals, they're 4mm squares. These are 5mm squares, these. So when you if you make it with this full scrap paper, you've got to remember that. So these are 5mm squares. So when I was counting the squares, I made a boo-boo because theirs are 1mm short. You can still do it, you just have to squash things up a bit at the top. So that's why I was doing lots and lots of practice pages to see how I liked to do that. So I think, but that's a job to do off camera because it's really tiring and boring to watch. I do like that little tag, so I could tie that one in as well and put that one in there, because I might make a little pocket. Might make a little pocket to go in there. Did I see a bit of plastic? I had a bit of plastic. I do have in my, I wanted to go back to this, but I don't think I'll go back to this. I made that. So looking at it, I think I can put a prayer card in there as well, and that might just hold an old credit card or a store card for the Hobonichi. I don't think there's anything on that one. I've got 2 Laura Ashley ones that I'd forgotten about. I don't suppose I'll be getting those. Oh, it's my Christmas present last year. Sorry, the year before that. Yeah, I kind of like that. So I've got some stamps. So I've got a credit card and a little one and a bit bigger one. And then I've got some little... I really haven't got... I've got a bigger one. So that's what I wanted the bigger one for. So I've got 4 different sizes. I've got 4 different sizes of little templates. I might use my magnetic bookmark page markers. I do like those. So I could put those in that one and these in this one. So it's a case of going through your stuff and just having a look. That's another one that's a different size as well. So, oh, look at that. I've got, that's the same size as that one, is it? Yeah, that's the same size as that one, almost. And then they can go in there. So again, I quite like that. And you can either stick it in there or just leave it in there. It's not going to go anywhere. So I will use those in that. And then at the back, I'm going to be using, so I said I would be using stickers in this one. Get all my stickers out. I might use one of those in that one. And some little ones. And then this is where I've got my washi to go in this one. I've got some Bible washi tape as well. So yeah, it's a case of having a dig about what you've got. I found my little scissors now. Having a find what you've got, and I might put, oh, I do like that as well. I found that. And I have some black lace. So it's like a bit like Christmas when you start doing your Hobonichi. Sorry guys. So oh, look at what I found. I've got some of these as well. So I wasn't going to use any of these, but of course if this is going to be a proper Hobonichi, then I can. So we've got some quite nice tags to and that's the sticker sheet. So well, I think I'm going to put those at the back. So I'm really happy now. I've got kind of quite happy now, because I thought I didn't have anything to make a traditional Hobonichi, and yet I found all these things in here and this. So it means that I can actually do it exactly as a Hobonichi is, and then still keep this one as I want. I think I'll use those. I think I'll use those in my Midori, because I do use my tags in my Midori. And what I was hoping was that this, I just can't nip it. I just can't nip it. That won't work. Just can't grip enough. But I can use it for the pages. I can hold the pages together, can't I? So if I was working on a page, probably could do that. So again, it's all about what you find and what you're organized. So this is going to be the traditional Hobonichi. This is going to be my Hobonichi creative. This is my doodle one, my doodles, because I like having this, because if I make a mistake or I can't finish it, it doesn't matter. So, and then I'm going to make a baby. Not literally, I'm going to make a baby. Again, on this one, I normally have a pen and a water brush. I think I'm going to do that. I put that on there. I think it sits. It's sit quite as flat. I can pull it up a bit, I think. It is a bit neater, that one. I made that one a little bit neater. Again, sometimes when you're obsessed about making books, you make quite a few. But I do love my baby, especially when it's got a cover on the top. It's got a cover on cover. Yes! I never thought I'd ever say that. I got a cover on cover. I really want to put that somewhere, but I haven't decided where I want to put it. That's a bit of paper. That's a template, so I need one in one and one at the other, because I like these little circles. So I think I might put that one in here, because I've got one in the other one. So I can put this one here, and I think I might leave these just kicking about. I haven't quite decided what I want to do with that one yet. I found that as a template. I thought that would be quite good to draw around. Quite ornate. This is going to be ornate, this one. This is the creative one. So I think I want to work in that one. And if I make myself do it every day. So I need the printer back to play with that. And now for the magic bit. Have a look. Oh, I've done. It's 2 hours 30 minutes. Have you got any questions, guys? Sorry about waffling. Let me see how many pages I have of this layout paper. So this cost me, I think it was about £18. It might be an avalanche. This is the size I buy, and I bought one in Glasgow, and did I look a div? It's the same size as my sketchbook. Oh gosh, sorry, I've just made a boo-boo with the white. What I want to do is see how many pages. Now remember, guys, we can't lick our fingers. So I've got yesterday's baby wipe. Put a drop of water on it. For goodness sake, don't lick your fingers. So if you're going to do something that's needs you to count anything. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. So there's 12 pages there, and it's a couple of millimeters. So that's how thing. I've got 12. I think I've got enough. I'm going to use that one because it's already. Sorry about the rattle, guys. So this is. I'm going to get this up and see how much they are. I thought they're about £18. Let me leave some colour on here, and then it's not going to have a dicky fit. So this is a. Oh, here we go again. Okay. I will tell you in a second. So I buy the biggest one I can carry, and I think it's. So that's A5. So I got that a bit wet. So that's A5. And this is A6. So we'll go through the sizes and then you can see. Oopsie. Now this one is quite roughly done, but I just want it as a bit of a template. So we need to get a bit of a memory going, and then we can squish it down. So, right, so this is what the A6 Hobonichi, the baby one. This is a traditional Hobonichi, A5. This is printer paper, A4. This is A3. And then my sorry guys, the name's gone. My drawing board is A2. And then if you can imagine this with another one in front of it, that's A1. And that's roughly how it is. So I've got 2, 4, 6, 8. I've got 16 pages from one sheet. So let me just find out if I bought my Cass Art. So let me find Cass Art. I think they're about either 18 or 11. Let me see how much they are, and I'll show you what it's called. It's I think it's Rowney, but I'll just have a look. Right, it's Dale Rowney, and it looks like that. Oh, they do layout paper. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, let's go back. So they do. So it's Dale Rowney, and that's the one. It got A4, A3, A2, and they've got some layout paper as well. Cass Art do it. I didn't know they did. That can't be right. Right. So the A2, which is the big one I've got, is £19. I'm going to tell how many pages are in it now. Yes, I've just accepted it. Go away. It says it is £31. It's 45 GSM, I think. And I'm looking for how many pieces. It's not telling me. It's not telling me how many pages are on it. 80 sheets, 45 GSM. So that's half as thin of printer paper. Oh, bye, Christina. Have a lovely day. Sorry, Christian. Have a lovely day. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yes, so there's 80 sheets and I've got 3/4 left and I've made a lot of books. The layout paper, we used to use it at college. If you were doing graphics, you'd do 3 or 4 different layouts because that's what it's called. Now there is a thicker one called marker paper. So it's £20 for the big size, and as I say, we're going to get 16 pages. So if that's printer paper, there's 4, and we get 4 out of A2. So that puts the myth out of paper sizes in the UK. And I say printer paper because printer paper is A4, which is about 11 3/4 and 8.5, something like that. It's the one you stick in a normal printer. You can get a printer that does A3, which is double A4. And then as I say, we get that one. So if we got 16 pages out of 1, I did make a little note of it. Oh, there's my little book. See, this is the little book I love. I've used it and I bullet journal in it. It goes in my handbag. It does all sorts and I love it. So I need, in the Hobonichi, the fake Hobonichi, the A6 one, I need 752 pages. So if we say 752, see, missed that, divided by 8, I need 94 pages. I need 94 sheets. So if I say I'll probably do 100. I've got 80. So I need 100. I don't think I've got 100. Oh, of course I haven't got 100. I haven't got 100 because you only get 80 sheets. So I need 1, 2, 3. That's going to be really fat, that, isn't it? 3, 4. Oh, I licked my fingers. That's bad. I've been telling everybody not to do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 17, 18, 19, 20. I've just had a thought. Now, do they mean pages or do they mean leaves? Because just put that clip in 20. So if I've got 20, and I get more, I get 16, don't I? 2, 4, 6, 8. So it's 16 into there. Can't count, sorry guys. So it's 16. Not, did I do 16? Oh, excuse me, it's that coffee. So we've got 752 divided by 16. 47. So I need 47. I've got 47. I have 47. And I realized that I do like this size. It's slightly bigger than the pocket size, which is this one. It's just slightly bigger. So I think I'm going to enjoy, and that's slightly bigger than that. So this is pocket size. It's just that bit bigger. So I think I shall be sitting here creasing pages. Obviously, I'm going to make it, the signatures would be like that. So I need to, if I'm going to do this very roughly, because this isn't perfect paper. I've got a little, oh, it's never where you want it, is it, guys? I do normally tear mine, but I decided that I wasn't going to do that this time. But I might actually cut it. So if I just do that. So I do actually need 8. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got 8 pages in this signature. Oh, look at that. That is thin. So it's going to be quite chunky. Now, do I want, I suppose at the end I could cut it with a knife to trim it. So I've got 8 pages, which is 16. So I need 50 signatures. So it's going to be about half that, because remember these pages are twice as thick. So half of those pages are twice as thick. So it's going to be about half that size. So it's actually not far off an original. I don't think it's going to be probably 2 inches. No, it's probably going to be 1.5 inches. So I don't know how thick I hope an inch is, but that's 16 pages. So I've got 20 there. So I've got 20 there. That's 20 pages there. So that's 20. And I've got all that. So I've definitely got enough. So that's 20. So I'll count them now, then I can be doing that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So I need another 10 1, 2, oh gosh, hands, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I've got 50 sheets, which will give me I might have to make an A3. So I've got 50 sheets. So if I fold that in half very carefully and then plonk it down, but put that over the top. I have to put this away because it's creasing. So you've got 80 sheets, so you can do some fine layout paper. And the thing with layout paper is you can use a rotary Indian ink pen. I'm not sure about a fountain pen. I will have a practice. I am not going to make I'm not going to make it on camera now. I'm going to waffle for 10 minutes. Yeah, I got to do some photocopying for those. So now I need the printer back. And so if I've got 50 sheets, so 50 times 16 is 800, is it? Oh, it is 800. Oh, there you go, 800. I've got, oh no, I don't need that many. Oh, I do, yes, 760 some. So I've got 800 pages. But I haven't got 800, have I? I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Just a second, I just have to do this properly. Dropped a clanger as per usual. Can't count. So again, measure once, measure twice, cut once, because I can't measure anything. Right, so this is what I did last time, and then I miscalculated, but normally you would say that is such a fat signature, but it isn't. It's going to be a perfect signature, is that. It's so thin. It's as thin as a knife, is that. So do not lick your fingers, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Doing it wrong again, guys. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Because one piece of paper is double-sided, so that's 16. So I've got 32 pages here. So I've got 32 pages. Do they mean pages, or do they mean sleeves? So I've got 32 pages there. That's interesting. I'm going to have to work that one out. So if I've got, so that's 50. Oops. So that's 100. That's 100. So you see, even that's 100. That's 100, and that's not even half an inch. So that's 100. So if I measure that, if I can measure that, it's about 5 millimeters, I think. If I can do it level. Okay. Gosh, I can't see what I'm doing. I think that's about 5 millimeters. And that's 100. So it's not going to be that thick. So this layout paper, although I'm not sure if you can use, come on, stand up, behave yourself, stand up. Let's have a practice. Let's see if we can, we might as well do this now and then I've done. So, fountain pens. No idea where they are. Oh, give me strength. Give me strength. That's an ordinary one. Sorry, that's not an ordinary one. Right, I've got one of those. We know these don't go through, and we know that doesn't go through. So do those. So let's get. I can get all my tests done. Gosh, I've tightened this up once. It's gone loose. I hate it. Absolutely hate it. Absolutely hate it. I'm just about to talk to Alfie. He's not there. So all these are things that I was planning to use. I think this will keep us going. These aren't permanent ink. So these are all the pens that I was hoping to use. So we can try. I haven't used these for a while, so I don't know. Oops, dog hair. At the end of that one, we'll give it a bit of a wipe. Excuse me. So this is Pilot. No, it's not. Yes, I've not used this for a year or so. So perhaps. That's spelled for toffee. So that was wet ink. Oh, look. Shows through. I would say that's a gone through. Because this one is Indian ink. This is permanent Indian ink in this one. It shows through, but doesn't go through. I would class that as a go through. So these are a no-no for that. I've got 2 brush pens. Oh God, what have I done with the other brush pen? I only just bought it. Oh, well, never mind. This is a manuscript one. It's very similar. There's no ink in it. So I've not used this one for years either. There's no ink in it. Haven't got any handy, but I think this one's got the same. And I did use this the other day. So this one is the Rotring, I think it's the drawing pen, this one, the Rotring drawing pen. Oh, for goodness sake, Heather. There's no ink in that one either. I have used this one. So this is the carbon pen. And I'm sure I filled it up with the same ink as that one. So that's a good one, because that means I can write normally. This one, you've got to keep it dead straight, and it's a pest. So I don't really care about that. I do have an ink drawing pencil. I will try those too. So they're definitely yes, yes. So we've got the Derwent graphic line markers. And we've got that's good. This is an artist sketching pen, permanent ink. Oh gosh, that smells. Artists. Gone through. I knew that because the acetate, you can smell it. So this is the Unibond waterproof and faith, but Unibond water and fade. Oh, that's another good one. Then we've got a brush pen. I've just found a black brush pen and I've lost it. So cross with myself. So this one is the Pentel color brush. I've never used this. Not much of a smell to it, that one. Definite go through. That's a no-no. These, I've never used these either. Faber-Castell Pitt pens, but I think they're italic. Oh, I'm not sure. I have to try a bigger one. Faint, medium, and bold. Let's go for bold. Two seconds, darling. Nearly finished.
That's all right. Take your time. It's no problem. I was trying to see how you were. Whether you wanted anything to eat or.
I think that is a. I think that's possibly a fade, a go through.
Do you want me to come up in 5 minutes or?
Thank you.
Okay. If you feel desperate, there's some nuts in there and there's some wine gums.
Thank you.
And there's I got a load of chocolate.
I think that's a go. The fine one isn't, but the bigger one is. I think this one. No, I think if you hold it on, it goes through. So when I first put the pen on, it's gone through, and none of the others did that. So I'm going to have to say it's a no. They're all no's, they're two's, I don't knows. And I'm pretty sure that these are fine. But we'll just this is the graphic. Oh, it's a K, isn't it? When you hold the dot on though. That might be a go through that one, which is unusual, but there you go. So and that's annoying because I wanted to use these colours. I wanted to use these colours. So how come that one's the same then? I think the greys and the blacks are all right. I think it's the brown. That might be the sienna in the brown. That might be what's causing it to go through. So let's just have another go with that one. So I want to draw some lines with this. That's what I want it for. I want to draw lines. And it's when you put the pen down. Yeah, it's when they put the pen down initially, it goes through. So I'm going to have to say that's a no and that's a no. But the black ones might be okay then. So sorry guys, I'm just trying to sort myself out. Do it on the right side, that would help. Because I do need a pen. Yeah, the black ones don't seem to be too bad. So if I just kind of hold my pencil on it and then do that. Yeah, it goes through. So I'm not bothered. I've got a pencil. I've got this one. I must have done this one wrong then. No, that one definitely does not go through. So that's a finer one. Right. So they might be all right on that other paper, but not on the one that's clear. So if I work on the basis that I can't use them on the plain paper, but I can use them on the lined paper, that might be okay. But it doesn't really matter because I have a drawing pen, so a writing pen. Yeah, I can live with that. So I've got one to do the lines, another to do the lines, and one to write with. So that's probably what I want to do in that one and in my little one then. So if I used that pen, Unibond water fade proof, that's the best one for writing then and not going through. Oopsie. Oh, that's quite nice, that one. So I might have to think about those then. So that's, and it doesn't do a lot of damage. It's a little bit thinner than that one, but I do have an 18, a 0.18. That's a 0.25. My 0.18 is probably as fine as that one then. But that's quite nice. So let's take a water brush and see what else we can do. The one that's in the rotary pen is definitely Indian ink, but I've got a funny feeling that I put Indian ink in this one. I thought I'd put it in the other ones as well, but in the Pilot pens, although it says carbon, of a tight Yorkshire lass, I used that. I got a very large syringe from the model railway show. So if I've got 16, I've got 30 some pages there. So I think that's going to be thin enough. I don't want to go any thinner with that. So I've got one short now. I might keep that as the little book to practice. So I was going to put that one in that one. I'm pretty sure that this one I'm sure this one will be fine. Yeah, it's fine, that one. So I can use these on the lined paper. I can live with that. That means that if I make the Hobonichi with all the fine paper, I can only use that. Well, that's fine because I can write with that. I can draw lines with that one, and I can put the washi tape and the other things in it. So the color is not coming from a watercolor. It's only going to come from stickers, and so that's good. So I do have a bit of paper. Well, this isn't proper photocopy paper though, is it? So I'm happy with that. So these will be fine. I'm sure that these are all fine. With this paper. We use it for everything, this, so. I don't think I want to make it out of a combination. I think I'd like it to be, yeah, you can't even see through, so that's quite good. So I've got, and I'm sure that one will do the same. I'm even sure probably these wouldn't do it either. So I'd be able to use all those on, I don't know what is that. I'll have to clean some of these. I really will have to clean some. these parallel pens will go in any direction. When you get the ink flowing, they will go in any direction. Normally when you've got a pen. My problem is I've no ink in it. That's the problem. But they should work. And again, these have their own inks at the minute. They don't go through. They all want a good clean. They all want a good clean. They all need cleaning, and this one might go through, but I don't think it will. Oh, it smells. Yes, it does go through that one because it stinks. It's definitely marker, that one. It's definitely a sketching pen, but it's marker. Alcohol-based permanent ink. Whew, yeah, you can get high on that. So the only one I put Indian ink in is this one because it's the one that I like and I used. But I was so impressed that I don't use it for months and I open it and it works. And normally these do as well. You can use it not for months and you take the lid off and it's fine. But this one, brilliant. But it's not Indian ink. It's not permanent ink in the capsules. So when it emptied, I put it in. So that's got permanent ink in it. So again, like alcohol inked markers will not do, but this is the paper that we do our normal work in. So and I do have I have 6, I think, no, I have 12. I have 8 pencils that came with the Bible journal kit, and the Bible pen, I thought I picked it up, it's the white one. So again, that's another interesting one. So they're all the same. I wanted to check this one, didn't I? If it doesn't go through, this one is I didn't say what it is. It came in the Bible journaling kit for Bible pages, so I know it's probably quite good for that. It won't go through because they wouldn't be able to sell it with that. So I've got a few of these stamps. I didn't know whether to use these or not, but I think I'm going to stick to washi tape and some stickies for the real one. And then I've got the others to do the other thing in it. So I'm okay with that. I can live with that. I need to use those. If I fill some cartridges with permanent Indian ink and use this one, it should be okay. So I can put those in there because I'll mix them up. I will take the pit pens out though, so I'm going to have to find a use for those. I might give those to my daughter because I've not used them. So so thanks for joining me, guys. So if I've got 16 and I make 50 signatures, I'll have 800 pages. But I've realized is that 800 pages. No, that's too many because I've got 16. I think I've just worked it out. I've got 16. I think I've just worked it out. I wish I could count, guys, honestly. Right, 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. So I've got 16 pages, but I've got 36 sides. Does that make sense? Yeah. So I still think though I could do 50 of those, 60 of those. I think what I might do is start and then see how we get on, how thick it is. We don't want it thicker than it is long, do we, really? So I hope that was a bit of useful information. Absolutely love my cover on cover. I always thought that was a ridiculous saying, but actually, no, it isn't. So I love it now. I love it. And it's nicer because there's nobody else got one like me. So again, I love that. I love that. Yeah, it's a bit kind of makeshift, and it's going to be, this one will just have drawings in it though, so there's nothing stuck in this one at all. This is my Derwent watercolor pencils and my Indian ink pen, and possibly these in here, but nothing glued and stuck. It's just going to be a drawing one. I think that one, a drawing colorful journal. This is the one that I'm going to use that as my, again, carry on using it as my sketchy rough, have a go. If I make a bugger of it, it doesn't matter. And I like that because I'm normally quite precious with things, so I kind of like, and I love the crinkle. So I like that. And then this is the one I made yesterday, which was supposed to be a little bit thinner than this, that you fitted into, I forgot what they call it, but oh, sorry guys, it's a thin Hobonichi, and it is thin. Practice pure Hobonichi in here, so that could be quite interesting. And then I'm going to make a baby one. So thanks for stopping by, guys. Have a wonderful afternoon and evening, depending where you're on the planet. Keep safe and keep colouring, and keep making books. Get all your boring jobs done, and then when it's all over, we can have a party for 6 months. We'll have a party to end all parties. So thanks, guys. Have a lovely afternoon, and I think it's tea time. I can't believe I found my multi-mat. I'm such a sad, happy girl. Thanks, guys. Have a grand day.